It's that time of year again where I get everything wrong and I get roasted in the comments. These are my 2026 Nrl Ladder Predictions. Last, I have the Cowboys, a bit of a bold call. I just think that last year they really disappointed, and I just don't think that they're going to show anything this year. If anything, I think their side's probably gotten worse, if stagnated at best. I think that they rely too much on guys like Nanai, Drinkwater, Dearden, Cotter. They just can't seem to carry them every game, and the rest of their side is just average at best. So that's why I have the Cowboys last. In 16th, to my delight, is the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. I say that because this is the one year where I can predict them to be really bad and not be called biased. In all seriousness, Manly suck. They lost DCE when they got probably the best replacement they possibly could, but their forward pack is one of the worst in the competition, and I just don't think that Ola Kawatu and their backs is going to be able to make up a difference. I think it's going to be a really rough year for Manly. In 15th, I have the Gold Coast Titans. I think, yes, there shouldn't be much precedent for them improving this year, but I think that the Cowboys at Manly might just go so badly that the Titans lock themselves into this position. But, yeah, I think Josh Hannay is a good coach. From what we've seen at the Sharks, he did really well to almost get them into the finals. I think that they'll be better in the future, but it definitely won't happen this year. So that's why I have the Titans in 15th. Rounding at the bottom four, I have the St. George Illawarra Dragons. The Dragons are always a weird club, considering everyone predicts them to finish last, and then they don't. But they also don't do well either. I think that they'll go better than last year, but I think it won't really be noticed, considering how many good teams are around them. I think that having a new halfback in Daniel Atkinson will help. I just don't know if it will be enough for them to be able to beat the top teams. In 13th, just avoiding the bottom four, perhaps a bit controversially, I have the Newcastle Knights. The Knights side should be better this year. They've got a better coach who can speak in more than one tone, and Dylan Brown. They've also got a lot of attacking players, which definitely fits how Holbrook plays his footy. I just don't know if that'll be enough, though, considering, again, there's a lot of good teams this year. In 12th, I have the Canberra Raiders. I think this is the most bold call of the video, but hey, you gotta live by them. The Raiders side is not that good on paper, and I think Ricky Stewart, their coach, is definitely what got them to finals last year, along with a lot of great contributions from guys like Joe Tarpany, Papali'i, Kyo Weeks, Ethan Strange. But I just don't think that they'll be able to get as lucky as they did last year. Sure, it wasn't all luck, but it definitely contributes. And they've had some games where, they probably shouldn't have won and they found ways to. I just think giving the reins of the halfback jersey to a rookie who they said wasn't ready just doesn't read well for me. So, yeah, that's why I have the Raiders in 12th. Don't kill me in the comments, please. In 11th, I have the greatest sporting franchise of all time, the West Tigers. Yeah, maybe I'm exaggerating that bit. But the Tigers this year look like they're on the up. They look positive. There's optimism everywhere. But I don't know. I just have an itch that something's going to go wrong. And I think our board is going to try and screw us over, which wouldn't be the first time. I really hope this is the year we make finals, but because I don't want to be called out for bias and because I'm pessimistic, I think that we will finish 11th and we'll miss out due to a loss to Penrith on the last day. The Eagles are a very hard team to get a read on, and that's why I have them in 10th. Last year they showed some awful signs, but also showed some really good ones, getting wins over the Warriors and Roosters late on in the season. I think that this will be another good year for them, but I feel like it'll be similar to the Dolphins' year last year, where they'll probably be the most exciting team to watch, but they'll still miss the finals. I feel like Pesvit isn't the best signing, considering he's more of a ball-dominant half, and he's not going to get that next to Mitch Moses. I feel like their forward pack isn't as good, even with the addition of Jack DeBellin. I just think that there's going to be some really poor games again from this side. I think that they're a bit too inconsistent, and their start to the season is pretty rough. So that's why I have the Eels in 10th. In 9th, we have the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, and oh boy, half the people have just clicked off the video. The Dogs are a team that can make finals, and I think they probably will, and prove me wrong. But I feel like that something's going to go wrong. I don't know if they'll be able to keep that defence that they've had over the last few years. I think their side is alright, but I just don't see them improving enough. I think all the noise about Burton leaving, I don't think Leo Thompson is really the player they need, considering, well, he led Newcastle to a spoon. But, I mean, if they made the top 4 and they made a preliminary final and lost, I think I wouldn't be too surprised. So that's why I have the Dogs in 9th. In 8th, we have the South Sydney Rabbitohs. This is a team that should have probably made the 8 the last 2 years if it wasn't for their horror injury run. In both of those years, they had points where it looked like, yeah, they could make the 8. But just injuries have crippled their chances. With Wayne Bennett there and hopefully a fit season, I think that South can definitely make the 8. I think they could even make top 4 if they really, if they play their best. I mean, David Fafita and Keon Kalamatangi just sounds like a scary back row combination, even if that's probably not what they're going to go with. Cam Murray with a full year is obviously going to help. If Latrell can play more than 6 games and play well outside of the origin period, this team is dangerous, and 8th honestly feels like a bit low if they can stay healthy the entire year. In 7th, for their first ever finals appearance, we have the Dolphins. The Dolphins side is scarily strong. This is a backline that can keep guys like Trey Fuller, probably Jack Bostock, and Tavita Nafahu out of it. All 3 have shown great talent, but probably don't even make this Dolphins' best side. This is a scary side, and if they stay healthy, boy, you better watch out. Their forward pack is also great, and Christian Wolf, in his 2nd year as coaching, surely can pull something out of that. And last year, they were one of the most exciting teams to watch in the competition. This is a scary side, and the future looks bright for them. In 6th, we have the New Zealand Warriors. This is honestly maybe a bit controversial, but I feel like the Warriors are good enough to stay in the finals despite losing their halfback and probably their best forward. I think that the Warriors are good enough, and they showed that last year when they were in the top 4 for the first half of the year. They definitely could drop out of the 8, but I just have a lot of faith that this side will go better. And I think once Luke Metcalf comes back in round 7, they will be a much better side. I think the start to the season could be a bit rough for them, considering they got, Barnett and Metcalf still out. I feel like this team should be making it though, and if they made top 4, I wouldn't be surprised. If they finished 12th, I also wouldn't be surprised. So having them in the same position as last year is kind of just me banking that they'll go all right. So that's why I have the Warriors in 6th. For one of my more bold calls in this video, I have the Storm in 5th. This is a team that is still good enough to make top 4, but I think with the loss of one of the best back rowers in the comp, if not the best, and a generationally good fullback in Ryan Papenhuyzen, this side is going to struggle a little bit. But I don't think they'll be too bad, and I think they'll definitely still have the occasional really big win. So that's why I have the Storm in 5th. The Sharks are ready to take the next step, and that's why I have them in 4th. The Sharks should be ready this year. No excuses. McInnes and Mulatalo out for most of the year isn't going to help them, but I think Jesse Colquhoun and Sam Stonestreet, while they're not as good as those guys, can definitely be serviceable replacements. This team has gelled so much together and has barely changed over 4 years then I feel like it's a bit inexcusable if they don't at least make a prelim again. They should be aiming to make a grand final this year. Last year's finals run was good, but they need to take that next step, and unfortunately it's going to rely on Nico Hines, how well he can go. Him and Trindle had a few seasons together now, there's no excuses. The Sharks, this is their year to make a grand final. In third, we have the reigning premiers, the Brisbane Broncos. This team is a bit overhyped for this year, and I think anyone who has them first is either a Broncos fan or is buying too much into the hype of last year, and I think it's just a bit lazy to put them first. That being said, I still think they're going to be a quality side, and while they definitely were a bit rocks and diamonds last year, I mean, if they can find the form they found for that final series for the whole year, I mean, sure, they could finish first, but I still think they're a bit too inconsistent, and they'll be in the top 4, they'll be in the premiership race again, but I don't think they'll win it this year. In second, we have the Sydney Roosters. By God, is this team stacked. They must be breaking the salary cap. This team is so good. This team can genuinely go all the way, and I wouldn't be shocked if they did. I don't think they will, though, because I feel like they're going to start off this year very slowly because they're adjusting to a new spine, and exactly how all those players work together is going to be a bit of a mystery. But this side is so good. There's genuine depth everywhere, and they've still got the makings of the young side they had last year, like guys like Celessi Fiketti, Blake Steep. This team is so good, and I can see them going all the way, but I don't think they will, and that's why I have them in second. In first, I have the Penrith Panthers. This is just the easiest prediction I think ever. There is no reason why Penrith can't do it again. They have got such a strong side still, and another season with Blaze Slungy next to Nathan Cleary is only going to help. Their forward pack is still as strong as ever. They've still got the young makings of guys like Casey McLean. This team is still great, and they're not dropping down the ladder anytime soon. That's why Penrith, I think, will be the minor premiers, and I think they'll take out the major one as well. Well, those are my ladder predictions for 2026. Let me know in the comments yours, and tell me everything I got wrong as well. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.